Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be discussing a very fascinating topic, and that is how humans develop social constructs and use them to define the world around them. So, I'm probably a little biased, so I'll just say, of course, this topic is very fascinating to me because I'm a certified behavioral data scientist, government trained. So, oh, wait, over here. So, of course, I'm going to touch on topics that really derived from my training, but also I've been interested in this topic since I was about 7 or 8 years old as a behavioral data scientist. So, just a little background about myself again for those of you who are new to the channel. And actually, I don't have a lot of episodes anyway, so I'm introducing myself essentially for the first time. So, I'm Nee or Niana or Nini Ammerman McLean. And like I said before, certified behavioral data scientist practicing specifically in the housing space for over 25 years, little 26, 27 years now. And so, what I do is I help individuals and companies establish actionable strategies towards just developing better life outcomes. But my focus, I work specifically in the focus areas of bettering your finances so that your mental health will be better or in a better condition to function just in your everyday life. And then the other part of that, which I always tie together because I believe that the two are completely married, and that's housing. So, finances and housing. And I use my partners that reinforce the work and the data that I provide and the strategies that I provide. I have partnered with the best in mental health services to ensure that I can substantiate the recommendations that I'm giving and why I'm running my mouth, pretty much. And so, without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so like I started out with the work that I do, explaining it to you all, and we can dig deeper in further episodes. But for this one, whenever I start working with an individual, I always want to start out by understanding the social constructs that they're working with because that's just for me how I think. I come from more of a, mom was a retail girly. She retired from Neiman Marcus. Yes, grandfather in. And she's very proud of that, and I'm proud of her as well. And my dad, being very much a tree hugger, he owned a print shop with a good friend of his. And so the way that I was brought up was heavy on empathy, understanding why people do the things that they do and the things that they don't do. And with that upbringing and my experience and my education, my undergrad is in psychology. And so with my education and just life experience, I find that oftentimes, I won't even say oftentimes, I'm going to do a lot of absolutes because it's my channel, so I can. So I'm going to say, I believe absolutely the things that we do and don't do are a product of the social constructs that we have. Social constructs are these things, they're frameworks. Essentially, frameworks that we use. I cut my fingers too, so which is crazy. Like I cut the first one opening my hair oil and then cut the second one. So sorry for the band-aid distractions. But anywho, with the social constructs, these are things that help us to determine who we are, who we're becoming, who we used to be, who we want to be, who the people around us are, what the world around us is. This is how we develop our perceptions. Remembering that things that are perceived, obviously, like things are validated by the perceiver. And your perceptions are coming from, without getting too deep, because we don't want to make it too, super deep, just a little bit. So we'll do the baby pool for now. The way that we develop our expectations, the things that we desire, are based on our social constructs, things that we have been told are important, things that we are told should be valued, also known as our systems of valuation. And so when we approach, relationships and the things that we see around us, understanding that things are only as valid as we have made them, not that we ever want to minimize or trivialize another person's feelings or even our own, but understanding that our emotions are derived from the things that we have socially, generationally been given. I'll say gifted with, I won't say cursed with, because I don't believe that our experiences are a curse. I do believe that our experiences are things that were given to us kind of a lot of them naturally absorbed by experience. Other things, told to us that this is what it is, this is how we do things, this is how it should be and how it should not be and never be. I do believe that those are things that are passed down generationally. And so that's what helps us to determine how we see and experience the world around us. So I'm going to give an example. Real life example, which I will have many because all of us have real life examples, don't we? We should. So, one of my topics that I really like to talk about in a social setting, besides housing and mental health and finances, remember I told you like that's the thing for me. But one that I really am passionate about, just from an advocacy perspective, is workplace trauma or workplace toxicity, because I do believe that, I was going to say oftentimes, but I'm going to say absolutely, the things that we bring into the workplace are a product of our social constructs. For example, the person who believes that everyone is out to get them. Everything is happening bad around them. It's bad day. Yesterday was a bad day. Today's going to be a bad day. Therefore, I'm going to prepare for the bad day. I'm going to tell everyone it's a bad day. In fact, I'm going to make it a bad day for everyone. Well, when you have conversations with these individuals, you come to find out that the way in which they view the world around them, the way in which they view themselves and their experiences are good or bad. Now, side note, my dad, again, he was a tree hugger. I'm glad though. I'm super glad. My late father, I love my dad. My dad would always tell me when I would say, "Oh my gosh, Daddy, it was a horrible day." And he would say, "Daughter, there's no such thing as good days or bad days. There are necessary days." And that constant repeating of a social construct, it's a way that I view the world around me and experiences, where I can say, wow, today was, whoa, this was a heavy day. But it's almost like not even in my mind. It's not even a part of my psyche to say it was a bad day, because I look at it like whatever happened in the day was necessary. It was something that I needed to learn, a person I needed to meet, an experience that I needed to harness, someone that I needed to meet and help. It's always something that comes out of that day. And but not for that day, I wouldn't even be able to talk now about what I believe to be a very important topic. So back to the workplace toxicity, because yeah. So you have this person who now, depending on how much power they have in the workplace, or even little to no power, meaning they could be someone that's not at a manager's level, they don't manage staff or anything, but this individual, just by way of their social constructs that they have been adorned with, have now been able to shape the culture, because workplace culture is shaped by people. And those people are using their social constructs to shape workplace culture, also known as the environment, also known as that thing that makes people say, when they're in their car, like the funny memes that people are in their car and they're like taking a shot before they go in, or praying and meditating and fasting and spraying holy water and, punching the air, doing whatever they need to do to prepare to go into an environment that really should be designed to help grow you, work on your strengths and weaknesses, help you to collaborate in a meaningful, productive way. And a lot of times that's not always the case, but you can't become angry, because these relationships are necessary, yes. And some might say, well, how can that be necessary? I'm in a horrible environment. My boss is horrible to me. My peers are horrible. I don't know, whatever. The chairs are horrible. They hurt my butt. Whatever is your situation. I assure you, it's not as bad as your mind is predicting you to believe it is, because your emotions are very much manufactured by the way that you're perceiving the world around you. They're not necessarily as universal as we would like to think. And any one of us who have friends from other countries, who travel to other countries, who come from other countries, who are mixed culture, we can tell you that what is a bad day for you is a great day for someone else, a great day. What is bad food to you tastes lovely to someone else. how it's prepared. You know, how some places you eat your soup hot, other places you eat your soup chilled. So it's all a matter of, again, your social constructs. So this is something that over the years, I'm 45 now, but I've had my fair share of, let's just say,